are having someone else spend some additional time in their home with them and with their children. In my parents' case, they have their son and, excuse me, their favorite son and daughter-in-law spending time in their house. Paige and I are living in their basement, yes. And the best thing about living with your dad is he still comments on your outfit, even when you're 39 years old. So I walked up into the kitchen this morning and he said, I see you're wearing your grout fit today, which is a gray outfit. So that's how I started
Good.
off my Tuesday. Think about that. Yeah. So there's a lot of people that are not necessarily living with their parents and having those types of people in their household this summer, but many will be having a nanny, right? You've got some kids that are 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, whatever it might be. There's one that's not quite old enough to chauffeur the kids to tennis practice and to gymnastics and all of the sports camps during the week. And so they've hired a nanny to help with that type of care. Brian, a lot of people probably aren't going to think about the insurance ramifications of that. Are there any?
Well, that was a really long setup, and I'm going to give a very short answer. Probably not. You hired a
Okay.
nanny for the summer, right? Which is going to be 10 weeks, 11 weeks, 12 weeks, maybe, that the nanny or whatever you want to call them, the babysitter, but that they're going to be at your home watching after your kids and running people around. Well, in Michigan, the workers' compensation law is what you want to be aware of, which says that if you're employing household help, which would include a nanny, for 35 hours a week or more for 13 weeks of the year or more, you end up required to have workers' compensation insurance. So, most of the time, if you're hiring the summer help, you're not going to hit that requirement because of either the hours or that 13-week window, in which case, that nanny, while they're at your home, they're treated just like a Friday night babysitter. So, if something goes wrong, they fall down the steps, they step on a nail, something happens, they're going to be treated just like a guest or a friend or your Friday night babysitter. They're not going to be looked at like a domestic employee under that workers' compensation law. So, as long as you're employing them under that threshold, you generally do not need to take any action. You can electively choose to have workers' compensation, but very few people are going to do that. So, you're probably okay as long as you're under that threshold.
That was your short and succinct answer, huh?
That was short and succinct. So there you go. If you have
Wow.
questions about your insurance, your family, the one thing, Derek, that you brought up earlier would be, what if my nanny is driving my kids to the country club every day, or they're headed to sports
I
events
don't have to
every
worry
day,
about
right? They're
that. Yeah,
they're
my
frequently
my kids are going to, just the camp up north maybe if they're
you
lucky.
you
So
won't have that problem. But if they are, right, does that make a difference, right? If they're driving your vehicle every day, that might be something where you should let your insurance agent know. The insurance company you're working with might not care to make any update to your insurance, but it might be smart to just inform them that, hey, during this period of time, this person is going to be driving my vehicle on a daily basis. If it's just once or twice a week, that's more likely to be seen as occasional and not necessarily not need to be reported. But if it's going to be every day and it's a routine type of thing, it's worth just making that notification so that, God forbid, something goes wrong, it's already been disclosed.
especially if part of the nanny's compensation or the benefit of being part of your family for the summer is to be able to use that vehicle even when they leave your house overnight. They're really acting as if it's theirs for the summer, then they absolutely should be reported to your auto insurance company.
Yep, definitely. Thanks for that, Derek. Well, if you have questions about your insurance plan, how it fits your family or your summer schedule, we at Boer Insurance Group have been helping families in Michigan make better insurance decisions since 1917, and we'd be more than happy to help.